Wow, stories.
My proposal in Japan. After 11 years together turns sour when she hates the ring. So I upgrade it and teach her a lesson about gratitude. I proposed during a photo shoot in Japan after 11 years together. Ahead of time, she gave me guidance saying to get a 1-carat lab diamond and just keep it simple. You know I like simple. Don't spend more than $3,000 because that's a vacation. She even showed rings online and said any of these would work, one of which was basically what I bought her. I went with a 1.5-carat oval with a simple band for $3,800. She was extremely happy and made an Instagram post using the photos. I made a comment about how large and nice someone's ring was that liked her post, and she immediately looked at that person's ring, then deleted the photo that included her own ring and expressed insecurities about the ring. She didn't say she wanted to break off the engagement or anything, but just didn't want to include a photo of the ring online. She also went on to say, "Why didn't you go above and beyond? We've been together 11 years and this is the ring I get? This ring is boring and plain, which is everything I'm not. I was just being modest when I told you what I want and thought that if I told you I didn't want much, you would propose faster because it's already been 11 years. I basically told her she gave me clear instructions and I followed them and then went to bed. She soon followed and apologized. And after a few words of encouragement, she restored that photo and sent the photo to her coworkers that requested it. A few days passed and she's perfectly happy. This morning I woke up and she was looking at other rings online, saying the band is so skinny. The 2-carat of the same ring was on sale for $500 more. Why didn't they offer that to you? I said, I don't know. But if it bothers you that much, we can exchange it for a 2-carat. And then the ring is still consistent with your existing photos. She responded, I've deleted the photo again, but everyone has already seen it. Then she sort of reiterates what she previously said, but goes one step further and suggests that she would have said no, because she didn't like the ring had there not been a photographer there. At this point, I'm just angry myself, so I lash out and tell her to take a look at herself because she looks repulsive right now. Her response is, then let's break up if I'm repulsive. At this point, I'm just not talking to her. She said something about not going to Osaka Castle, and I ignored her, which pissed her off, and she just told me to make my own way back to Tokyo if I'm not going to talk to her. The truth is, she'll apologize for this very soon and say she doesn't mean it. She's insecure and hot-headed, and she says things she doesn't even mean in her episodes. She's continuously gotten better at controlling her anger in these episodes over my time with her, so it's not like she doesn't recognize she has an issue, but she still gets like this sometimes. Usually it is surrounding her weight. She needs constant validation from me that her weight is under control. She can afford to eat a meal, and she looks good. Then she'll suddenly start feeling insecure about her weight and lashes out at me sometimes, saying I keep telling her it's okay to eat just to make it easier on myself while she gets fat. Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. The most charitable way to look at this is that she sounds like she has a lot of pent-up resentment about how long it took you to propose. Now that the moment is here, her insecurities are getting the best of her, and she's self-sabotaging. A proposal in Japan with a $3,800 ring would be an absolute dream come true for many women. You should really be questioning whether you want to marry someone with such poor communication and emotional regulation. Comment 2. She also went on to say, why didn't you go above and beyond? We've been together for 11 years and this is the ring I get? This ring is boring and plain, which is everything I'm not. I was just being modest when I told you what I want, and thought that if I told you I didn't want much, you would propose faster because it's already been 11 years. I'd literally dump her right there on the spot. Now, for the update. Thanks for sticking around. A lot has happened since I last wrote. The next day, she did apologize, just like I knew she would. But the air was still thick with tension. We went to Osaka Castle, and it was like nothing had happened. She was all smiles, taking pictures, acting like the perfect fiancé. But I could tell something was off. She was too quiet on the way back to the hotel, lost in thought. That night, she got a message from her coworker. the one who had asked for the ring photo. Turns out, this coworker had been stirring the pot, feeding her insecurities about the ring, saying things like, "You deserve so much more after 11 years." I couldn't believe it. This coworker, who I'd met and thought was a friend, was betraying us both. The next morning, she confronted me, saying she knew I had the money to buy a bigger ring. She accused me of not caring enough to spend more. I was floored. I reminded her of her own words, her request for simplicity. But she was having none of it. She said she felt humiliated, that everyone at work was talking about how small her ring was. It was like a slap in the face. I was angry, sure, but more than that, I was hurt. I realized this wasn't just about the ring. It was about her needing to show off, to prove something to her coworkers. And I was just a pawn in her game. I needed to clear my head. I left the hotel and walked around Tokyo, trying to make sense of it all. When I got back, she was gone. She'd taken her things and left a note, saying she needed space to think. I was alone in a foreign country, with a ring that suddenly meant nothing. I spent the next day wandering, trying to figure out what to do. I realized I couldn't let her coworker win. Couldn't let her destroy what we had. I went back to the jeweler and did something I never thought I'd do. I upgraded the ring to a 2-carat diamond, the one she'd been eyeing online. It was a move that would change everything. When she came back to the hotel, she found the new ring on the bed with a note. "I love you, but I won't be made a fool. This is the last time I let anyone come between us." She broke down, crying, apologizing for everything. She confessed that her coworker had been manipulating her, trying to break us up because she had feelings for me. It was a mess. But I stood my ground. I told her this was it. No more games, no more insecurities. If we were going to make this work, it had to be us against the world, not us against each other. We left Japan on a quieter note, the new ring on her finger a symbol of a fresh start. But things were different now. We had to rebuild trust, had to learn to communicate better. It wasn't going to be easy, but I was willing to try if she was.